George Kambosos, it's official, Richardson Hitchins. Big fight coming up for the IBF World title. A fight that's sort of, I feel, been building for a while now, even since he won the world title back last year on December the 6th, mate. Your thoughts on the fight and how pumped are you for this, another world title shot?
Yeah, I'm very pumped up. I can't wait to dog walk this guy. Come there and take everything off him. You know, he's been talking a lot. You know, he really is feeling himself. You know, he really thinks he's somebody that I don't believe he is. So, yeah, we're going to come there, fight's on. We're going to take that belt off him. We've done it before, we'll do it again.
We've spoken so much in the past, but this guy sort of called you out after he defeated Liam Paro. There was even some talk, you know, back and forth between you and him before he even fought Liam Paro. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of built up, more so on his side.
Yeah, look, he had won the world title and he called me out straight away the next day, so he didn't even have time to celebrate, he didn't even have time to enjoy it. He had me living in his head rent-free, and same with Liam Paro. You know, I believe both of them guys, when they were fighting, were thinking about George Kambosos. So, yeah, two men thinking about me is a bit sus to me, but here we are, Richardson Hitchins, a guy who's got two surnames as first name and last name. It's a bit weird as well, and you never trust a guy that has two surnames.
George, we were talking yesterday, we found out some information about him. He represented Haiti.
Yeah, because he wasn't shit as an amateur. He had to go through the Haiti Olympic team because he was a bum ass in the amateurs. So he couldn't mess with the top guys in the amateurs. He couldn't beat the top level guys. Rumour has it he was losing in the first round. He couldn't even make it to the top 16 or the semi-finals. Couldn't even get a bronze medal. And he thought, you know what, I'll do the easy way, and I'll go through Haiti and go represent that way. And he lost his first fight as well, I believe. So yeah, whatever. That's amateurs, and in the pros, again, I don't see anything that he's a belt holder right now. He's the lowest paid belt holder in boxing today. So yeah, who you fought, who you beat, you'll see when you step up against a guy like myself who's been in there with the best, and he says and he speaks all this stuff about myself and the battles that I've gone through and the wars that I've gone through. Well, you'll see me at 140, you'll see the experience that I'm bringing to the table.
George, talk about your fight with Jake Wiley back on March the 22nd. You were very, very convincing there. Looked very sharp that night, you know what I mean? Took the headbutt late in the fight. We've spoken enough about it. You only had a couple of days off. You went straight back into camp, you know what I mean? You're super fit now. How's it felt for you, George? Because this is probably the most active you've been in a long time, just transitioning straight back into another camp and getting ready to go again.
Yeah, look, it was an amazing training camp. Felt fantastic and put on a great performance. Obviously, Jake Wiley was preparing to fight 2 weeks after. He was fit. He had come off a fight 4 weeks beforehand. He was Australian. He still is the Australian champion. I didn't take that belt off him. You know, we let him hold that belt. So yeah, a guy with 16 wins, 15 knockouts, double the knockouts than what Hitchens has. So he was a puncher. He was strong. You know, he used his head when he had to use his head later in the fight. But I was dynamic. I was fast. Rewatching that fight, it's hard to tell when you've had the fight. I knew I won the fight very easily, but it's hard to tell until you sit there and study the fight. And I love to study my fights. And you saw how dominant I was and dynamic I was. And back to the old Kambosos, throwing 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, stepping back and then coming back with shots. But again, that's not taking anything away from Jake Wiley. He was a good, tough, fighter, Australian champion, knockout artist. Knocked out 15 out of his 16 opponents. So and he was big too, big 140 pounder. So yeah, great win, homecoming, put on a show. Everyone loved it. We did the highest viewership on the zone this year. So hey, Kambosos is still a star, and we're going back to another world title, my 6th world title fight, and we're bringing that belt back home.
George, you've earned more money in boxing in this country than anyone in the last 10 years. You've fought in the biggest fight than more than anyone last 10 years. How do you mentally, yourself, your father, your team, how do you get your mind frame and your mental side back to 2021 where you were the underdog? Because I think you need to do that for this fight heading overseas, and obviously, can you do that?
There's a few things, very simple things that keeps driving me. Everything else is not really a big, concern for me. Yes, it's good to have money and be able to, provide for my family and kids and have that. That's good. Mega events, yeah, of course, that's amazing. But for me, it's legacy. becoming 2-division champion of the world. And again, proving a lot of people wrong, proving a lot of people that say that, nah, he can't go and beat this guy. This guy's got too much of a good jab or whatever they're saying. And also catching that feeling again. I know I'm going to catch that feeling. Everything that has lined up with this fight again, the stars have aligned. And like we've said and throughout this camp already, he ain't 1/10 of the guys that I fought. He ain't 1/100th of the Lomachenkos and Devin Haney's and Teofimo Lopez's. He sits there and says, oh, Kambosos gets bloody. Yeah, because I come to fucking fight. I come for war. You're a bitch. You're a woman. You run. Jab, run. But that ain't going to work against me. At 140, I feel extremely strong. I feel great. I feel dynamic. You saw it in my last fight. And what would your record be if you fought them guys? I know me. I'm 1-3. I fought Devin twice. So I've really only lost to 2 guys. I'm 1-3 against them guys. What would you be? I reckon you'd be 0-4. I reckon your face would be bloodied and beaten up. I reckon you would have got stopped in all of them fights. So I fought them guys. Who you fought? I ain't fought nobody. So I'm bringing all that experience and yeah, we roll on. Like we said, we've rolled on from a beautiful training camp, 12 round, good first fight at 140, and now we go straight into the title fight, another camp. And I'm fit, I'm ready. We're ready to fight right now. Weight is great, and hey, I ain't got no issues with no 10-pound rehydration, IBF clause like he bitches about. I love that. So yeah, bring on the fight.
The fight's over in his country. There's a lot of added pressure there. He thinks he's a bit of a big name, and we're keen to see what sort of crowd that he brings. I'm a bigger name than what he is in his hometown. That's the thing. It comes from the horse's mouth. He can't sell. He is not a name. He is not who he thinks he is. So they've had to bring the big dog in. They've had to bring in George Kambosos, coming off his first fight at 140, straight into a title fight. Why? Because I'm George Kambosos. I fought the big fights. I am the name. I am the person that talks. I'm the guy that comes in and fights the best of the best. So yeah, I'm going to add another world title, 2-division, to my beautiful cabinet that I already have. Every single belt in the game. It's time to double up on that shit. 2020, I thought you were in probably one of the biggest fights. That Lee Selby, the world title eliminator, was a big fight. Was a huge fight. Through COVID times, yeah. Through COVID times. 21 Lopez, and we know what you did after that. How is it for you in this country this year? You're probably going to be in the biggest fight of the year for an Australian. In a world title fight. If Jai fights Ramirez later in the year, I think that's a shout out to him. That's a big fight, George. Whether what they want to say about you, you're still in the biggest fights. That must be something you're proud of, huh? Yeah, look, I'll never get my flowers in this country. I'll get my flowers in this country from the true Aussie fans and the true Greek fans and the true people in this country. But I will never get my flowers from the media, the mainstream media, from the social guys like yourself, from everyone on socials that know what I've gone and done. And even Eddie Hearn went out and said it. I can't understand why you don't give your flowers to the guy that's gone and done it and still doing the biggest events and biggest fights. So the fans and the people respect it. But the mainstream media will never respect it. And I fight tooth and nail. And I'm at the point now, I just don't give a fuck anymore. So love me, hate me, put me on the back page, say what you want to say, put me and my father on the back page, put us on the front page. We don't care no more. We're laughing straight to title fights, to the bank, and to the biggest events, that we've done in history, and we're still doing bigger events. And when I beat this guy, and he's all come back running like he did in 2021, yeah, I've got 2 words for you. What is it? I'll find out when it happens. Some other big fights coming up, and you've been in with these guys. That's why it's great to talk to you. We can't I know you sometimes don't like. Yeah, but I know sometimes I can't talk to Tim about fighting Charlo. I can't talk to Tim about fighting any of them, Nick, because all of them are as boring as a sledgehammer. They got no personality. Again, I sit there and you see on social media, yeah, of course, a lot of fans, a lot of support, but then you see a lot of people that want to sit there and talk rubbish and talk shit about a real fighter, a guy that has gone in there and now he's fighting Hitchens, another world champion, Lopez, Haney twice, Lomachenko, took on a really tough Australian super lightweight champion, has fought everybody, Selby, Bay, Hughes, Barla, Ogilvie, all these guys that I fought. Look at the resume, man. Yeah. That's a 5-star plus resume. And still people want to talk because they can't handle someone who believes in himself, is confident in himself, has gone from nothing to get to
make everything and do everything he's ever wanted to do. I've done it all in the game, everything in the game. And I'm still here, still grinding, still 20 rounds deep today, every single day. Still early in the morning running because I love this shit. I work hard for it, and I got the personality that the Americans love, the world loves, and that's why I'm still in the big fights.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. And there's a big fight coming up. Ryan Garcia, Roland Ramiro, Teofimo Arnulfo Barboza, and obviously Devin Ramirez. However you want to talk about him in any order. This is massive for boxing. You know, I mean, 3 big fights that could probably showcase and be their own event in itself. I'm going to start with Teo and Barboza first. Your thoughts on that fight, because you've beaten Teofimo.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Look, as much as me and Teo, you know, fucking hate each other, and still a lot of bad blood. And again, me and Barboza, you know, are good. We talk all the time. It's a really good fight. It's a real, you know, pick and fight. I think Barboza is underrated. I think he's got a lot to prove. And again, Lopez is that guy that, you know, he's explosive. You know, he's dynamic. But yeah, it's a very interesting fight. You know, again, I'm close to Barboza, so of course I'm leaning towards him because I don't like Teo. But again, it's a real 50-50 pick and fight.
We spoke to Ramon, your assistant coach. I know it's great having him back out here.
Yeah. Well, look, Ramon, we did a beautiful, you know, 3-month camp with my lead, Anton Kadushin. We had a great win, and then, you know, obviously we had big camp, so I wanted to get him to go home, back to Russia for a couple of weeks, and obviously I thought, you know what, Ramon knows his style inside out. We're going to bring Ramon into camp either way. I thought, you know what? What's doing? What do you? Someone's just yawning. That's all right. I'd say it. That's all part of it.
I think
someone's just getting a bit bored.
He's
you know, when he's talking, everyone's got to be real quiet. Anyway,
Devin Ramirez. We'll get to him next.
We thought, you know what, Ramon. He knows the style inside out, and you've seen the work we're doing, and you know it's been a blessing bringing him here and doing the hard work that we're putting in, and you know, doing whatever it takes. It shows how serious I am about every single fight. And it doesn't matter, you know, what it takes. We'll bring the right people in to make sure that, you know, we're victorious and we become champion again. So it's been tremendous, and we continue camp. And we'll make our way overseas very, very soon. And meet up with Anton and obviously Imam Khatib as well, who'll be fighting soon. And obviously Ramon, and we'll be working out of a very, very good gym with more boxing brains there, so yeah, we're looking forward to, you know, the next part of camp. But you know, best believe we're coming to win this fight by any means necessary. And I feel that Hitchens is very, very nervous. We see the way he talks in the interviews. We see the way he's stuttering. We see the way he's got to, you know, attack me. Got to make it always personal. And I did see one interview. He says he respects me as a man, but doesn't respect me as a fighter. Well, you respect every fighter. But if it's going to be like that, well, I don't respect you as a man. I don't respect you as a fighter. I don't respect anything you've done in your career. Your 19 fights have been nothing to what I've gone and done. So, yeah, bring that respect. Stand there and fight me like a real man.